bottom line?
I could care less about Bitcoin. I don't know why I said anything about it. The blockchain is a technology, which is a good technology. We actually use it. It will be used for a lot of different things. God bless the blockchain. Cryptocurrencies and digital currencies, I think are also fine. JP Morgan moves $6 trillion around the world every day. We don't do it in cash. It's done digitally. Yeah. If it can be done digitally with the blockchain, so be it. But it'll still be a dollar cryptocurrency. What I have an issue with is a non-fiat cryptocurrency. Dollar, so crypto, sterling, euro, yen, they're all fine. I don't personally understand the value of something that has no actual value. You all can do whatever you want, and I don't care, okay?
All right, that sounds definitive. Bitcoin hit a new high today.
I could care less what Bitcoin trades for, how it trades, why it trades, who trades it. If you're stupid enough to buy it, you'll pay the price for it one day. I've also told people that it can trade at $100,000 before it trades to zero. Tulip bulbs traded for $75,000 once, something like that. The only value of a Bitcoin is what the other guy will pay for it. And I think, honestly, there's a good chance that Bitcoin, a lot of the buyers out there are up there jazzing it up every day so that maybe you'll buy it too and take them out. And I quite mean that, by the way. These people are very good at manipulating the press these days and getting news out. And so every day, you have CNBC, nonstop Bitcoin. Who cares about Bitcoin? I mean, the world's economy is so big. We move, JP Morgan alone, these companies, $6 trillion. We move all this money. And Bitcoin in total is, all these currencies are $50 billion, maybe $1 billion trades a day. And the other thing I've always made of Bitcoin, governments, and this is not a technological statement, governments are going to crush it one day. Governments like to know where the money is, who has it, and what you're doing with it. And in case you haven't noticed, okay? And governments like to control their currency, like to control their own economy. So China's already put curbs on it. Japan, they say Japan accepted Bitcoin. No, they didn't. What I gathered Japan did was they call it J-coin. It's a yen cryptocurrency. It's not a non-fiat. And there's a big difference. People have said legitimately, okay, it's close to gold. Not really. Gold is limited and has been around a long time, and it's close to a fiat currency. Not really. A fiat currency is where the government says, this is your legal tender. You have to give it and accept it. And there's a central bank. Now, of course, they can misuse it, the central bank, and inflate it. So there is a use case for Bitcoin. If you live in Venezuela, North Korea, or if you're a criminal, great product. And I mean that. It's better than cash or deposits in that country, Cuba, But this is the last time I'm ever going to answer a question about Bitcoin because I really don't care.
So you mentioned cryptocurrency, and I know you said you weren't going to talk about Bitcoin anymore, but you're at Stanford. Some of us put all our student loan money into it, and I have to ask you anyway. Why do you believe that governments and regulators can't allow the existence of a global currency based on centralized risk?
I become like a spokesman against Bitcoin. I don't care. I don't care about Bitcoin. I could give a shit, to tell you the truth. And I promised myself I wouldn't talk about it. The next day, there are 4 things, really quickly. Blockchain is real. It's technology. It can be public or private. It can be for 5 people. It can be for 5 million. It's going to work. We already use it in a lot of test cases, stuff like that, so we're a supporter. I do worry a little bit about the security because, like I said, we move $6 trillion a day, real time, quite efficiently, effectively, and secure. Before you replace that, you got to make sure you can do it right. There are 3 cryptocurrencies, okay? 3 types, 3 separate types. One is ICOs. ICO, and I haven't studied these things, but you're paying for a token that allows you to use a service, which is very different than a currency, but that's what people call cryptocurrencies. And maybe, Jim, maybe you've studied some of these ICOs. I have no idea, about some will give you cloud services or some can give you investing services. That's one type. The second type, you can use cryptocurrency for fiat currency. Well, that works because it just uses a different technology to move money around. Basically keep your money digitally anyway, and if you just keep different files in a different way and distributed ledgers, that would work fine. But I've always thought about Bitcoin as a currency and a store of value and a payment mechanism is that governments, and this is my belief, and I may be wrong, I'm not saying you can't go to $100,000, that governments are going to crush it one day for 3 reasons, okay? One is when it's used for terrorist activities. Okay, it'll happen. It's a matter of time. go back to a Bitcoin, and then all of a sudden the DOJ, the United States government, all these people in Washington who profess to love technology and novelty of Bitcoin are going to change their mind. Number two, when a lot of little old ladies lose their money, because the speculative vehicle was allowed to exist by the United States government, and they're going to lose their money and they're going to be pounding, you should have done something about it. And number three is the most important. Whenever a government forms itself, and you go to any country in the world, pull out the currency, look at the date, that fiat currency was formed by that government with the central bank, because governments like to control their currency. They like to know who has it, where it's going, why it's going, when it went, et cetera. And right now, Bitcoin's a novelty. It's $100 billion, and $1 billion a day trades hands. Obviously, mostly speculation, okay? And obviously, there's a real use case. I'm not making this a joke. Venezuela, Cuba, North Korea, criminal, drug money, that'll always be true. So it'll always have a use case that's valuable to someone, because it's better in those countries to do to have that than have to have currency or cash or money in a bank, because the governments, they take that too. And if you go to Argentina, they had effectively savings accounts. The government just went in and took it. They just took it. And of course, everyone took the money out of the bank right after that, and the country basically collapsed. But so that's the reason why. And it's going to get bigger and bigger, and they're going to want to control it. And it's not the same as a fiat currency. A fiat currency, the government says, you must take this as legal tender. And at par, effectively, cash, at par. And it's always worth par. And I don't know why a crypto dollar would ever be something that, a store of value would be worse than a crypto Bitcoin. So, that's my view. And I may be wrong, which I doubt. But I've been wrong before, though. So, and if I'm wrong, I also don't care very much, to tell the truth. It'll never affect my life. It's not because they write, the bankers are defending their stuff. That's absolutely untrue. If Bitcoin works and we have to do something with Bitcoin, we'll do that too.
Kind of a win-win there.
Exactly. When the DOJ calls someone up and says that's an illegal currency and it's against the laws of the United States of land, if you do it again, we'll put you in jail, it's over.
So you really
There's no issue. There will be, and this is my personal opinion, there will be no real non-controlled currency in the world. There's no government that's going to put up with it for long. It's kind of cute now. A lot of the senators in Congress will say, I support Silicon Valley innovation. There will be no currency that gets around government controls.
Anybody here want to take an opposite view?
The technology will be used. It may even be used to transport currency, but it will be U.S. dollars.
But digital,
right.
but digital currency will be stopped.
Yes, a virtual currency where it's called a Bitcoin as opposed to a U.S. dollar. These things may be very well for cheap transport.